Stay with us. Education experts known for supporting indigent and academically bright students in Lagos public schools have launched a project aimed at promoting leadership among young people. At the event, stakeholders stressed that empowering the next generation of leaders should be the focus for many organizations in the country. Senior correspondent Sharon Ijason has more.
It's the launch of a new project aimed at encouraging leadership among young Nigerians. The program, titled Stimulating Education, Accountability and Leadership, is designed to motivate young people to become the kind of leaders Nigeria needs. At the event, panelists discussed how young people can play key roles in overcoming systemic corruption and mediocrity in leadership.
One of the things we do here is to identify, recognize, and reward excellence amongst public school students. And so we reward these three categories so that others can be inspired and know that when they make an effort, it will be rewarded. It's a sign for what could happen with them with their work in future.
In Nigeria, we are a very, very youthful country right now. The number of young people that we have around, they're literally our future. That's the first thing. But the second thing is that most of the leaders that we have in our nation today at any point in our adulthood was shaped when we were actually youth. And so catching them young is the difference between them becoming a problem to the society or them becoming solutions to the society.
Right from inception, Team Guide has been helping schools, public schools more. Indigent students in public school, they give out free scholarship, JAM scholarship. With this award now, more students will be encouraged to put in their best. This award is for three categories: academics, moral, and leadership.
Students in attendance said the new initiative has motivated them to work harder in their studies and develop a mindset that seeks positive change in their communities and beyond.
We don't get much of this in our schools. For this, it feels like a big opportunity for me because it has given me the urge to strive harder for my academics. And what I've learned from this is no matter where you come from, as long as you have the zeal and passion and determination, you can do anything.
I feel so inspired to attain to greater heights because we are the product of our environment. So in order to change our environment, we have to change ourselves.
Educationists are of the view that philanthropists must do more towards assisting indigent students to get access to quality education.
In other news, key players in the agricultural sector say over 90% of Nigerian farmers are unaware of the chemicals used on crops and their implications. This is according to an expert and keynote speaker at an agroecology and food system summit in Oyo, Akwa Ibom State. TVC News' Miriam Daniels reports and will return with business news.
The stakeholders note that smallholder farmers are the backbone of Nigeria's agricultural food chain. They appeal for funding to support these set of farmers in transitioning to organic farming practices and ensuring food security. One of the resource persons explains that inorganic farming poses serious ecosystem threats due to high chemical use. He emphasizes agroecology's potential to address Nigeria's agricultural challenges.
Nigeria still is made up of small-scale farmers, and most of them are illiterates. If you remember my presentation, I said one of the recommendations is that we must cascade this information we have down to them in very simple pictorial formats.
Blessing Ifemiwam calls for youth inclusion in agriculture for improved livelihood.
So the whole issue facing young people is actually a lot in Nigeria. So that is the context and our background that made us how do we, have a project that we can try to meet the needs of young people.
Also speaking, the director, Clement Isong Foundation, Elkanah Oluyori, encourages farmers to adopt sustainable practices for optimal land use and to boost exports.
The solution, among many other things, is the fact that we have to increase advocacy we have to increase the awareness and information. There are a lot of debates around genetically modified food and crops.
Agroecology is actually an initiative that promotes sustainable agriculture.
How did our parents manage the soils such that there was food security? And I'm finding out every day, and most especially today, that the earth as a resource that we are using is borrowed, not from our ancestors, as I thought before I came from the meeting, but from our children.
Okay, after the training, I think I've applied the herbicides, which was actually made from neem leaves and neem seeds.
It's expected that with agroecology, the current harmful farm practices can be reversed to prevent soil degradation, climate change hazards, and marine ecosystem damage. Miriam Daniels, TVC News, Uyo, Akwa Ibom State.